All right, guys, welcome to the very first episode of Watching Ball Like a Ball Player. So this is for you US Elite players only, and what we're gonna do is you're just going to tag along with me. We're gonna watch highlights of some college baseball games, and I'm gonna point out things that I like watching as a coach or just as somebody that loves to learn about baseball, pointing out some things that you guys should be looking for when you're watching these high-level baseball games. I love watching these college players because, number one, that's where all you guys want to be. Number two, they play the game the right way, so especially specific schools. And today, we're going to watch Vanderbilt in Michigan. Now, I haven't watched this highlight video, so it's kind of like a reaction, and I'm just going to point things out as we go. But I do know that it was a great ending to the game. So it's an exciting one to watch. So come on with me and let's watch this game. But before I go, I want you guys to go subscribe to this account on YouTube that I watch all the time. It's called Wheels, okay, just Wheels. And he puts up highlight videos of college baseball games. But it's not just highlight videos, the home runs and the strikeouts. It's like the first and last out of every inning, every big play. I don't know who Wheels is, but he's a baseball guy because he makes sure to put a lot of the important, just good baseball plays in this in his videos. So video's about 15 minutes long of just the game. So let's point out, watch the game with me, and here we go.
Splitting of the fans here tonight. Change of pace coming to home plate too. How about that? 3 pitches, 1 out.
All right, big lefty on the mound for Vanderbilt. Oh, here we go for you catchers.
Has his mask off and makes.
All right, good little teaching point here. Again, just the little things that you watch. So when this ball goes up in there, I want you to watch the catcher. Immediately pops up, finds the ball, gets his mask off. Now, he knows that this ball is going over to the third base side. Tosses his mask so it's not going to be in the way whatsoever, turns his back to the infield because that ball's always going to start working its way back to the infield. That spin on it's going to cause it to pull back towards the infield, so he turns his back, gets underneath the ball, and makes it look pretty easy. So you catchers, get that mask off, get it out of the way so you don't trip on it. Oh, here we go. This is the kind of stuff I like. Okay, this is kind of stuff that you don't get to see in the big leagues too often, but you see it all the time in college baseball. And the guys like Enrique Bradfield here. Okay, couple things. This is a push bunt. So just to clarify, anytime we are bunting down the first base side for a hit, we're going to call it a push bunt, regardless of if you're a righty or a lefty. Now, a push bunt, here's the key. It has to get past the pitcher. The pitcher cannot field it in front of him, and we're trying to bunt this ball so the second baseman has to come and get it. So typically we're doing this off of lefties that are going to fall off the mound to the third base side. It's essentially opening up some space for us to put a pretty firm bunt down to get him past the pitcher, and then that ball's in no man's land. It's a really difficult play for the infielders. So notice here, he drops his back foot as a lefty here, gets his eyes behind the ball, okay? But he uses his legs to provide that power. So a lot of kids think with a push bunt, we want to use our hands and kind of punch through the ball, but we're going to be inaccurate, and a lot of times we're going to pop that ball up. Okay, but eyes are behind the ball. He's not punching through it. He's just catching that ball, but using his legs to provide that power to get it past the pitcher. And if we do that, it's perfectly executed. It's a base hit every single time. If that can be one of your weapons, okay, it opens up a lot of options for you. A lot of options for you.
You're trying to figure out. There he goes, Bradfield off, and he's going to be in without a.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure you guys know Enrique Bradfield. Obviously, Vanderbilt does a great job promoting their guys, so you know pretty much all their names. Okay, steals a lot of bases, led NCAA in stolen bases last year. Now notice, he's already full speed well before that ball is thrown because he's reading the pitcher's tendency. At second base, what we're trying to do is pick up tendencies on looks. So sometimes they'll come set. 1 look, 2 looks, deliver. Okay? And when we do that and we find that most of the pitches he's throwing, he's giving you 2 looks. We know that as soon as his head turns back to home plate, okay, on that second look, we can go. So that's exactly what he did right here. And when we do that, we don't even have to get that much momentum because we're getting such a big jump. Okay, he's already moving. His hands really haven't even separated yet. And because of that, now it was a really good or great pitch to run on. That was just kind of luck, but he was there either way. Now, notice the guy on first stayed put. So what we're taught at a higher level is that now, obviously, Enrique Bradfield has the green light. If anybody in college baseball should have a green light, it's Enrique Bradfield. He steals like crazy, and he can fly. So at first, you've got to know that he may be running. Now, what we're trying to do here, and there's a lot going on at once, and it is, I'm not going to lie, it's a very difficult read, but we have to know that this guy on second might be running, okay? So we're watching out of the corner of our eye. If he breaks, then we have an opportunity to break with him, especially on that pitch. Now, a lot of times if they do a double steal, they're going to throw backside, meaning they're going to try to throw that runner out at second. So be aware of that. There's a lot of times that we can take second, even when the coach didn't put on the sign, but when that guy runs, we can see that, and a lot of times we can get a good enough jump to go. Because that pitcher's given a high leg kick because there's a runner on second, so you have time as a guy at first. Now, let's say you get a terrible jump, but you try to run, you're gonna be out by a mile. Certain situations, maybe not in the first, but certain situations, we just shut it down and get a rundown, and that guy at third has an opportunity to score. But at first base, we should always be ready for that, especially if the guy ahead of you is a guy that likes to run and he steals a lot of bags.
Being without back up the middle.
Oh, Michigan gets the clutch double play. Okay, didn't try to rush it, just makes the catch, knows he has a lot of time, gets to the bag. Double play to end the inning. That's momentum killers. All right, we got the Enrique Bradfield show going on here. Now, I want you to pay attention to this, all you outfielders here. Now, he does have the luxury of this being his home field. He knows exactly where the wall is. He knows exactly how many steps he has when he gets to the track, how far he's going to be from the wall when he gets to that track. But notice he sprints back to his spot, he finds the wall, and then he can make a play on the ball. So if he was drifting, or how I like to describe it, chasing the ball, there's no chance he makes this play. But he got back to his spot, got to the wall, and then jumped for it. Now, by no means is this a routine play. But at the next level, this is expected to be an out. If it's a catchable ball, and it might not even be catchable for a lot of center fielders, but for him it is. And I guarantee you the standard he sets for himself is he's making those plays. That's the standard he holds himself to, and I guarantee you his coaches and teammates expect him to make that play too. So when you're playing outfield, don't give yourself the easy way out by saying, oh, it was a really tough play, I missed it. No, there's a way to make that play. He did it perfectly here, got to the wall early, and then was able to jump. And I don't think that ball was going to make it out, but it's at least a double if he doesn't catch that. So that's picture perfect right there. Get to the wall, find the wall, jump, make a play.
To center, nice catch by Bradfield on the warning track.
Just look, another day for him.
And he walked him. So after retiring the first 4 Michigan Wolverines, Burton is aboard on a walk. Flores. Sky to center. Bradfield comes over.
And routine pop-up for him.
This one's wrapped toward the hole and past Veggie Johnson at second base.
Little shift on there. Notice how hard he's running here, guys. I mean, that ball ends up drifting foul, but he's not taking a chance that ball could be down and he's lollygagging to first base. good college teams, every single kid is doing that because that's the standard that they're held to at that level. They have to run these balls out because they're doing it for the team. If they're doing it for themselves, they'd run down the line feeling sorry for themselves. But that's an opportunity to, with 2 outs, that you could be in scoring position if that ball happens to fall. So we're not taking any chances there. They're sprinting it out. Let's watch it one more time. He hits a little pop-up into right field, but he's running hard the whole time. Okay. That's what we expect from you guys at US Elite. We got all of our players do that, but that's what college coaches are looking for. If you're not a hustler and they expect their players at their college to hustle, then you're probably not a guy for them. Don't limit opportunities just because of something that you can control. My man here is rolling right now, setting him down.
This one is charged to right field.
Yes, this is what I would call the Enrique Bradfield show so far in the 3rd inning. He's a great player. He's really fun to watch. I'd encourage a lot of you guys to watch Vanderbilt and specifically watch him. And of course, our very own Troy Leneve as well. So he can run, he can steal, he can play defense. Apparently has a little pop too.
This one is hit well to center.
Ball's hammered. Oh, okay. So, we talked about Enrique Bradfield making that play at his home ballpark. Now, here's the visiting team. So, you can see here, he has an opportunity to make this catch. And again, I guarantee you his coaches expect him to make that catch, and I'm sure he expects himself to make this catch as well. He's there, he gets a glove on it, but watch what he does. At the last second, he turns his head away to try to find that wall because he's just not as familiar with this ballpark. Now, that's not an excuse. Okay, you guys are playing at a different ballpark every single game you play in travel baseball. Okay, but that's something that we need to be doing before the game. Just measuring that track, find, you know, whatever position you're playing in the outfield, understand how many steps you have on that warning track so that when there's a ball hit like this, you're able to make that play and you have a good understanding of where that ball is. He missed this ball because he was not sure of his where he was in relation to that wall. So he turned away from it, took his eyes off it, ended up dropping this big time. And now, instead of an out, 2 outs, nobody on. Now there's 1 out, runner on second. That stuff matters big time. Uh-oh, another ball hammered at him. Next batter. Oh. Okay, so right there is the difference in a Division I center fielder and most high school center fielders that I see. What do you do on the last batter? Drop the ball because he was unsure where the wall is. Well, the second you start doubting yourself, guess where the next ball is going? Right back to you. So this ball, maybe even a more difficult catch, but he stepped up and made a gigantic catch for his team. I mean, if he misses that ball, that's a run, 2-0 Vanderbilt, and another runner in scoring position with 1 out. But he stepped up, didn't let 1 error turn into 2, and made the play. That's called grit, that's called toughness, that's called overcoming some adversity and stepping up for the team. Literally 2 batters in a row. That's pretty wild.
Stewart redeeming himself in center field for the Wolverines. 2 down.
Redeeming himself in center field.
Costas wraps one to the second baseman, Fedgy Johnson.
Little shift. So guys, see where it's easy. This is super easy on turf fields because there's really not any change at all from green to brown to green. So with these big pull hitters, especially with a short throw from second base, we have an opportunity to give ourselves more range, get into that outfield grass, so we can make a play like this. Because if he's in his normal positioning right here, then that's a base hit and that's a run. So just be aware of that. You got to know who these hitters are a little bit. It's difficult in travel ball. They got pretty advanced scouting reports in college baseball now. But you can do that. You can play in that position.
That's another strikeout.
Strikeout, high fastball. Strikeout, high fastball.
for Devin Futrell. There's not a lot of concern if they can't.
Fastball away. He was trying to go up there. So it's important for you guys to not necessarily where the pitch was, okay, but where he was trying to locate. So his last 2 strikeouts were fastballs up, okay? So now he's 0-2 on this guy. See where the catcher is. He's set up middle of the plate, and he wants that ball up. Okay, so they're trying to go fastball up again. Now, he actually missed his spot a little bit and ended up being in a great spot to get the K. But from the dugout, and you're watching your teammates at bat, and you're trying to figure out how this pitcher's really attacking you,
can't handle it.
You know, you got to know and be paying attention enough to understand that he was trying to go up again there. So when you get your next at bat, you know that, you know, there's a good chance on an 0-2, 1-2 pitch, he likes to throw that fastball up because he's trying to do that with a lot of guys. Even though the ball might not ended up there, that's what he wanted to do. So that information is crucial to you having success next time you step up to the plate and really just being able to battle with 2 strikes against a really good pitcher.
To move him to the back end of the bullpen, but you get freshman left-handers throwing the ball like this, not play follow the leader. Didn't go to second on the stolen base.
Oh, okay, another catch-up pop. See, got his finding the ball, got his mask off in his hand, knows where the ball is going, tosses his mask away from him so he doesn't trip over that ball. Okay, now he finds the ball and gets underneath it and drops it. So the process was right. He did it all correct. He just missed the ball. So sure, that's going to happen. I mean, this is a Division I, very high-level Division I catcher, and they make mistakes too. So let's see if he capitalizes on it, because there's something about the baseball gods that they reward you when you get a free next pitch, because he should have been out there. So let's see here. Oh, what did I tell you? Never ceases to amaze me. So, guys, I haven't watched this yet. Just know, as a baseball player, when you give guys extra chances, they usually capitalize. From a defensive perspective, and then from offensive perspective, that was a gift, and he capitalized on it. Now they got a runner on first and no outs instead of nobody on, 1 out.
Start the 4th game on base streak now. This one's in the turn, and Obertop's got a chase. On to second is Bolt.
Pass ball, that's a killer. Runner in scoring position. Okay, guys, here's what pass balls do. Pass balls, wild pitches, or just free bases in general, okay? For them to score a run from first base, they need probably 2 hits or 1 extra base hit, okay? So they got to do something really good the rest of the inning to score that run if they don't decide to bunt them up, and apparently they weren't, okay? Now, since we just gave them a free base, runner in scoring position, now a bloop single or just a single is potentially a run. So free bases are give the other teams more opportunities to score runs. So again, let's see if Vanderbilt capitalizes here. But that stuff is killer for a team. And when you're playing a team like Vanderbilt, those free bases are just never end up very well.
2 on, nobody out for Vanderbilt.
Now 2 on, nobody out. Or excuse me, nobody out.
And he walked him.
Full count, nobody out. 94-96. Doesn't do you a lick of good if it's out of the zone.
The 4th. Little number back to Renard. Renard bobbles it, but comes home in plenty of time to get the force.
Composed himself, bobbled a little bit, but he knew he had time, didn't try to rush it.
Pitch to Enrique. Another comeback around, and another great break for the Wolverines.
Now 2 outs, bases loaded. They can get out of this.
To get Carter Young.
2-week contact. 3-week contact, easy play. Man, this kid came out of the bullpen. Okay, so for you pitchers that complain about coming out of the bullpen, tough situations, do you think this kid was feeling sorry for himself because he had to come in against Vanderbilt in a 1-0 ball game with bases loaded, no outs? I promise you, he was not. That's why their coaches picked him to go into the game. I've heard kids and parents complaining about that. He's just coming in really tough situations. Well, number one, that means your coach has confidence in you. Number two, you should want to be in those situations, and I guarantee you that kid wanted to be in that situation, and he just got out of that inning with 0 runs. Bases loaded, no outs. How many times could Vanderbilt have bases loaded, no outs, and not score a run? Very, very few. He didn't care whatsoever. Just made his pitches. Controlled what he can control.
No, they're not all here tonight.
This gets away.
Going to bunt. Shielded the catcher's eyes. Not necessarily intent, but that can happen.
Line drive over Young into left field, and here comes Flores.
Pretty good piece of hitting there. Not trying to do too much, trying to put a barrel on the ball. A ground ball ties the ball game up. A fly ball ties the ball game up.
Throw down to second.
Oh. All right. Did you guys see that? Okay, I'm going to play it again. And just think to yourself, what's Coach Hell's looking at right here?
Throw down to second in time to get him. They had Bertram.
All right, so this is really high baseball IQ. So you can see here, they're running on first move. This pitcher is not a reader. He has predetermined pick, so they gave him a pick sign here, most likely, or he did it on his own. Okay, but he picks while the guy's running. First baseman gets rid of it quick. Shortstop misses the ball. Okay, he's out if he catches that ball, but he missed it. So watch what he does here. Oh, I accidentally fell down on top of you. Now you don't know where the ball is, and now you can't run to third base. Okay, he did a great job of playing that off. Now, some people might say it's Bush League. In my mind, that's high-level baseball. That's understanding that you missed the ball. Now just keep this guy at second base. Now, if this kid tried to get up and run right here in this position and he got thrown out at third, then they may call obstruction. There's a good chance that they do. Now, he's probably not going anywhere because the outfielders are backing up as they should. Okay, but that's a really, really smart play by the shortstop there, Carter Young, I believe his name is, but just kind of accidentally, quote unquote, falling over on that runner. So keep in mind as a base runner, if he falls on you and you try to run and he obstructs your ability to run to third base and you're thrown out at third base, you're safe for obstruction. Now, if he were to run to third base, he's out by 10 steps and he turns around to run back to second base and gets in a rundown and gets out, then he's out. Okay, so the shortstop's not obstructing him from running back to second base. He's obstructing him from running to third. So keep that in mind as a base runner. If you're being obstructed, you can't stop. Second you stop, it's not obstruction anymore, and you're going to be called out. But as a shortstop, shield that guy's view. You don't necessarily have to lay on top of him. He didn't really do that, but keep him at second base. That is all. That's really smart.
And he is safe.
Oh, fastball up. See a little tendency here. 0-2 pitches. He likes to go up 88 to 91 with his fastball.
Here goes again.
Chopper. Colwick. Bobbles in twice. And everybody's safe.
Had to get rid of it pretty quick there. But now Michigan has something going here. First and third, one out.
Past the first baseman, Casas into right.
And they capitalize, take the lead.
On his way to third.
So guys, first 4 innings, who would you say had all the momentum? Vanderbilt, 100%. Their pitcher's dominating. Their offense has a lot of opportunities. They have a lot of runners in scoring position. Only 1 run to show for it, but that's how you get momentum, just having opportunities to score. Michigan had nothing going. But here in the 5th inning, they just took the lead because they kept grinding out at bats. They kept taking advantage of missed opportunities on Vanderbilt's part. And that's the margin for error at this level of play. It's very, very small. So we need to, like when you're playing at a high level, even in travel baseball, when you're playing a good team, the margin for error is so small. Those little things, those little details, missing a ball at second base that should be an out, or making an error on a routine play because we're trying to rush it too much, that leads to runs. And at this level, like I said, the margin for error is so small that a couple runs here and there are the difference in the game.
They'll flip
Oh,
to second.
perfect
Young
flip.
on to first.
Perfect.
Double play to get out of the inning.
So I got to point this out. As you guys know, I like my second base stuff. So notice here, I know it's small. Plants the left foot outside the ball. If he turns to throw this ball, like pivots open to throw the ball, maybe still get the double play, but it's a lot slower. But he plants this thing, gets the ball moving back to the shortstop as quick as possible, makes a good turn there, a good pivot at second by the shortstop, and they get a double play out of that and save another run. So again, a guy that just made an error that led to a couple runs, and the ball comes right back to him, but he makes the play. That's why these guys are playing at places like Michigan and Vanderbilt, because they have that mentality and they're those type of players.
Getting Casas. Vandy down a run here now, and another leadoff hit. As Jones will stand up at second base with a double.
Hard coming around second base. Not just being happy with a double.
And that is Bulger's season.
Ready to take an extra base if that opportunity presents itself.
Matt Fry leading off the inning. Got it. Struck him out.
New arm for Vanderbilt, 96.
Struck him out.
Gassed.
That's pace of play for you. That's a 1-2-3 inning for Little. 3-1 pitch. Popped up.
Running hard out of the box on a pop-up every single time. I promise you, a place like Vanderbilt, if you jog on that ball, you're out of the game and you're getting ripped a new one like you've never seen before.
Back up the middle. That's a base hit.
Lead off knock, 95, straight back up the middle. Hard around the base, looking ready for an opportunity to take an extra base.
Flores away from first. That one's in the turf, and Flores will hop on along to second base.
3 bases.
Chopper.
Outstanding job. Okay. Runner on second, no outs. He's just trying to put something on the ground pull side to move that runner up to third base. That's a selfless play, and what great teams do, what great run-producing offenses do. That's how you win games, score more runs than another team. So we don't need to be the best hitting team, best run-producing offense. And he beats it out. So double good. Bunt, gets low. I missed it there, but
out in front of home plate, Bulger.
They're doing a safety squeeze there. Safety squeeze. Safety squeeze. Your job is to bunt it away from the pitcher, and the guy in third base is reading that ball. If it's straight back to the pitcher, you got to shut it down at third. Away from the pitcher, where he's not going to be able to just catch and flip, then you can score on that. So well executed there.
As Flores scores, as they've come in here and given Vanderbilt all they can handle. Ground ball, top play off the glove of Diaz.
Bad luck.
Into left field. It's going to score another one.
But that's what happens when you put pressure on a team, get runners in the scoring position, make them make plays. Things like that happen, and then we score runs because of it.
RBI. On Vanderbilt's home field, it's 4-1 now. Check swing, runner goes. The throw not in time as Veggie Johnson is into second base.
Manufacturing runs. Okay, when we're facing a pitcher like this kid, mid to upper 90s, we can't rely on doubles and triples and home runs, okay, or just stringing a bunch of hits together. So you got to manufacture runs, safety squeeze, stealing, get runners in the scoring position.
That's a strikeout.
Now, he's a new pitcher now, but
really
you get what I'm saying.
Team that was a super regional team last year.
Got him. Berkwich.
Fastball up. A lot of strikeouts on fastball up today.
In the seventh, couple of doubles tonight. One in the third, one in the fifth. Hits this one toward the hole. Nice play, Veggie Johnson. In time, he got him. Yes, it is. So Jones is on with a 2-out single and the 3-0 pitch. That's low, walked him. And so now the time
2 outs, walks, killers.
Twisting away from Flores. Long going to get down for a base hit.
All right, so let's break down exactly how they just scored this run. 2 outs, nobody on. Routine, almost routine ground ball on the right side of the infield. Hard 90, beats it out, okay? Beats it out. Runner on first, 2 outs. Next guy, 2 out walk. Now they have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Loop, single, score a run. That's called a good offense. Okay, never, conceding or thinking you're out of it just because there's 2 outs, nobody on. Manufacture runs. Fastball up, throwing gas. All these guys are throwing gas.
Ground ball shot through into right field. Diving for it was Burton, couldn't get there.
Lead off single.
And even if he had, I don't know.
Getting something going.
That's who he kind of reminds me of. Outside, walked him.
Now runner in scoring position with 1 out. He's running.
It was a slider.
Hit and run.
Short. They got to hurry in time. Again, the 3-2. Swung on, got him.
Big time by that pitcher, stepping up, 86-mile-per-hour slider. Nice rec specs.
Was stopped by a Michigan home run off of David Price.
They're expected to be a contender for a reason. Swung on and missed. Bertram goes down.
That's a nasty pitch right there.
Back-to-back strikeouts here in
he knows it.
2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strikeout of Flores, Bertram, and Rogers in order for Schultz. Line drive, base hit, and staying alive is big because Keegan delivers a single to start the
bottom of the 9th. Get something going for your team.
Both have the ability to hit it out of sight.
Down by 2.
Tim Corbin has
1 out walk. Now tying run is on first base.
Ground ball to second. Could be 2. They're only going to get 1.
Okay, good job by that shortstop. That's called understanding the situation, understanding the game. I see a lot of high school shortstops that have tried to turn that ball. Not a great feed, but the job is to just get 1 out. That is the tying run right there, this out at second base. So he just makes sure, secure the catch, keep the tying run out of scoring position. If that guy that's on third now scores, so what? Okay, but we can't let this guy be safe and potentially that run score because we try to do too much and throw the ball away. That's smart baseball.
Going to stop at third. Hit on a line to left and diving. Flores can't get there. It's going to go all the way.
So it's easy to say that's a bad decision to dive for that ball. But as a coach, I want guys that want the ball. I want guys that want to be aggressive and go make an out for their team. So maybe not the smartest, because the tying run is on first base, probably not the smartest decision. I'm never gonna get on a kid for trying to make that play because it was close. It wasn't like he had no chance at it. But diving for that ball with the runner tying run on first base. Now he's on third probably. Just kidding. Wow, he scored. Okay, so risk versus reward there. Made the decision to dive for that ball again with a runner on first. Probably not. Try to keep it in front or just keep that guy from scoring. He scored because he dove for it. So I kind of rescind what I said. Probably shouldn't have dove for that ball because the tying runner was on first base and a double scores him, which it just did.
As Tate Colwick delivers a blast into left field.
Never give up. These teams will, I promise you, you'll never see them just roll over at the end of the game. They're fired up. That's fun baseball right there. 2 outs. Oh, I didn't know the game ended like this. Walk-offs are cool, but walk-off walks, walk-off pass balls they just make my heart hurt, But guys, every week we're going to do this. Please keep tagging along. And when you're watching baseball games, these are the type of things that you need to be paying attention to. If you want to be an elite level player and play at a really high level, then this is how you play baseball. Okay? This is how you learn. This is how you increase your baseball IQ. And this is how you know what it takes to play at that next level. I'll have guys tell me they want to play at Vanderbilt, for example. I said, you watch that Vanderbilt game, they're like, I haven't really watched them. How do you know that you can play there then? Okay, how do you know that that style of baseball fits what you want to do? Okay, you learn that by watching these guys and understanding what it takes to play at a place like this. Okay, it's not throwing 95 and it's not hitting the ball 105 miles per hour off your bat. Those things help for sure, but there's a specific type of baseball that these guys play, and that's what we want you to learn here at US Elite, and that's what we're trying to teach you to do. So watch this stuff, keep learning. If you have any questions, let me know, and tune in next week for the next round of Watching Ball Like a Ball Player.